Artists. Welcome back to Art with Miss Hazel. Um, you guys were working on a self-assessment the last time I taught you, and then the next week we tried to make up that lesson and get everybody to complete a drawing and a self-assessment. I do not have many of those turned in to me, and if it's possible, get on School's PLP and please do a drawing of your choice and complete the self-assessment that was posted on School's PLP and send it back to Miss Yazel. That's very important. I do need some assessment data for my fifth graders. So please watch that video and look at the attachments that were there. I did have maybe 5 or 6 kids that tried to submit it, but the self-assessment was not attached. So that is the most important piece that I need, and if you could get that to me, I would be so happy. So fifth graders, today you're going to be watching me draw a Native American inspired drawing based on a Native American type of art called Kachina Dolls. And we're gonna, there is a video on how they are made, and it explains a lot about why the Hopi Indians in the southwest of the United States create the Kachina dolls. And then you're going to try to create the drawing of those Kachina dolls. And there are many different kinds of Kachinas, and I'm just going to draw one with you if you choose to do that. Or I am putting a couple of different Kachinas that you could print out and draw from or color those. I would prefer that you draw them yourself to give you some drawing practice. Those are on there also. So you have a couple of choices. Either print out and follow the drawings that are you print out, or get a piece of paper and draw along with me, or pause the video when I show you the Kachinas in a minute, and you could copy one of those also, whichever you prefer. So Kachina dolls are actually spirit dolls that the Hopi Indians give to the girls in the tribe to teach them lessons about different aspects of their culture. So they look like a little carved piece of wood. When you watch the How It's Made video, you'll see how one artist creates those by carving the wood and burning the wood, and I thought that was pretty fascinating because I've never seen one created before. So that was a really cool video that I thought I'd share with you. And then you can look at some of the different designs that you see here if you wanted to try to imitate one of those. Here are 2 different Kachina as well. You could pause the video at this point and look at that to draw from if you prefer. We're not going to do yoga. That's my yoga room. So get a piece of paper and markers or crayons and a pencil and maybe an eraser, because sometimes we make mistakes and that's okay because it proves that we're trying. So please get your materials together and join me back here. And I hope you have your materials so that you can draw along with me. I've got a pencil and I've got a Sharpie. I'm going to start with the Sharpie because you can see better when I draw with the Sharpie. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to draw a circle. It's close to a circle as you can get. Oh goodness, I'm having trouble with circles today. So that's a good thing. One good reason you should start with a pencil, because that way you can erase if you make a mistake. I hope I'm not getting this on my, okay. So I'm going to slide another piece of paper under there while I'm working because I keep going over things. It's going to bleed through. Okay, so the first step is your circle. Then you're going to go north, south, east, west, some lines that are approximately the same size. Okay, so one at the top, bottom, left, and right. And I named them the directions because I thought that was fun. Okay, 1, 2, 3 lines in between. These are still going to be about the same length as the other ones. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is kind of giving me a guide to go by. So then once I have all of those lines in there, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do this on either side. I'm going to try to make them wide enough though to connect. I didn't quite do that on this first one. Oops. So they're going to come, these are going to be kind of like feathers. You saw some of the Kachinas look like they had headdresses like the Native Americans would wear with the feathers all around. And that's kind of what you're trying to draw on these Kachina dolls. And I hope you can hear me because the sound was not very good on this webcam that I'm using. Okay, so you could always go back and add another one inside if you feel like that's something you want to do, because I needed to, because I messed up. So to fix my mistake, I can always go back and add something else that makes it look even cooler. So forgive my messy drawing. This is kind of the first time I've drawn one of these Kachinas. So the next step is to draw this straight line down and then straight line over to form the part of the eye that inside of that you're going to draw a triangular shape. It's a very geometric kind of face. Then you're going to draw some small rectangles underneath of the eyes, and then a triangle shaped nose, mouth, slash. And then we have some rectangle shapes at the bottom of the face. And now we're going to draw the body. And they're very straight looking dolls. There's not a lot of shape to them. Now the legs. You got kind of this apron kind of shape on at the bottom. And then the legs. Carved out of wood. That would probably be quite a challenge. Okay. So far, so good. How are you doing? Hope you're doing great. Now let's start with the arms. The arms are going to come out from behind the headdress. And they actually have some kind of mittens or something over their hands. This is good because that means we don't have to draw fingers, which are very difficult. So let's put some design on his costume. some kind of feather design, maybe some lightning bolts. We see that kind of image in Native American art. You could always go back and refer to those Native American symbol drawings, and you could decorate the costume in that way. They also have some kind of feather or design at their wrists. So, and sometimes they'll be holding something in their hands. If you want them to hold something, you could draw something that looks like it's coming from behind the hand. Let's decorate this part of the costume. Some kind of a design here to fill up this space. Maybe some decoration down here at the feet. Okay, and then I match that one. And then if you wanted to add something to the legs, some kind of design, shapes to the costume. You see lots of zigzag designs in Native American art. You see lots of triangles, stair step lines, which are like stairs, just like it sounds. Okay, that adds a little bit of interest to the costume design. You can make these look like feathers. And then you could always go back and color this in any way that you would like. And using some colors that Native Americans may use, make sure that you are you can refer back to the pictures that I showed you of Native American Kachinas and use some of the colors that they might use. I'm using colored pencils. You could use markers, crayons, whatever you have. And if you don't like this Kachina, then you can go back and you can refer back to some of the pictures or the handout that I put on Schools PLP. Happy creating, 5th grade. I hope to see some cool Kachinas. Please send them to me. Please send me any art.